I need $1 bad.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of the Lion Chasers podcast. I'm joined today by my great friend, my fellow esteemed comrade, and Bengals insider, Joel Elder. We're here to talk, producer Joel. We're here to talk to you today about the 2025 Cincinnati Bengals. We're bringing you a comprehensive preview of the Bengals team and season this year. Joel and I have both been lifelong Bengals fans, so we've got all the information you need to get a full picture of what the season is going to look like. Joel, I wanted to ask you, first of all, welcome. And I wanted to ask you, Joel, going into this year, after a life of rooting for the Bengals, what feels unique to you about the 2025 season?
I would say this year I'm most confident in our offensive line and unique that our offensive line is going to be terrible this year. I'm actually confident in that this year. Would you feel the
That
same? Would
is,
you feel the same?
yes, it's the most confident I've been going into the season in our offensive line since Joe Burrow has been the quarterback. I completely agree. Despite the fact that we're starting a third round rookie at left guard and right guard is a major question mark, I just feel that good about the tackles in the center.
Yeah, man.
And the bar has been so low recently that I feel like Joe's going to be able to make it work with what he's got this year.
I agree. And in the last couple of drafts, out of Jamar and Joe being like our best picks, Mims was a hit. I love that we picked Mims where we did. He's great.
Mims is great, and he's built like he fits our offensive system. I feel like he is a brick wall, and he's so big. You can tell he's got pass blocking knees, where his knees kind of point in a little bit when he's standing up. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
He doesn't move very well, and I don't think you're pulling him or getting him out in front of a screen that often. But the man is a brick wall in pass protection, and the Bengals, more than any team in the NFL, we love to go spread and not keep running back or a tight end in to block and just put our offensive linemen in tough positions and be like, hey, you need to line up against pass rushers that know we're passing and are just going to be able to completely tee off against you. And that is Mims' specialty, and Orlando Brown a little bit too.
Yeah.
So I've got high hopes for Mims as well.
Is this a hot take that I think that Mims is better than Orlando Brown?
I think his ceiling is probably higher. And
Yeah.
maybe it's a little too early to call him better, but dude, I have no qualms with being high on Mims. I love Mims.
Good.
Guard is where the big question mark is. Oh, we just re-signed Ted Karras to an extra year today. Did you see
I
that?
did not, but that's good. I like Ted.
Everybody loves Ted,
Good,
and
big
he's been a
morale guy.
captain. Yeah, he is a good locker room guy, and he is. I didn't know he's 32. He's old, but
Did not
one
know
more
that
year.
either.
One more year. That's good. But guard, everybody loves Dylan Fairchild so far
I'm a
in the
firm
preseason
believer.
and in camp. I knew from the second I heard about his wrestling pedigree in high school that he was a state champion wrestler.
I think he was
Those
67
kinds of
and 0.
guys, Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
those kinds of guys, they have great leverage. They're aggressive blockers. It's kind of the opposite of what we were saying with Mims. Mims is moving backwards all the time in his
hmm
pass pro, brick wall. Whereas Fairchild is going to be like making contact himself. He's going to be good pulling. If we're going to be running more two tight end sets, which I think we're going to be doing, maybe some more man run schemes as opposed to just outside zone all the time, then getting him out in front on counters or powers or whatever it is, I think that's going to fit his skill set well. And then at the other guard, it's just got to be somebody's got to be good enough.
It's a.
There's not.
I mean, it's a big question mark. Who's gonna? I mean, who's starting right now? I forget.
It's going to be Lucas Patrick for
Okay,
now.
I think Reisner steps in probably by week 4, week 3. I hope.
That
I hope.
a lot of people think that and think that it's only Patrick because Reisner has not been with the team
I mean, he's
until
been there 2 weeks maybe.
right. Uh, Either one of them, I don't think is going to obviously not be playing at like any type of all pro level or anything, but we just need somebody that's not going to fuck up.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout the last couple of years, not only have we had guys that miss blocks, we've had guys that miss assignments. I feel like I have no idea what the stat is, but there's can't be that many more quarterbacks in the league that have had more free rushers just running straight at them untouched because of mental errors in the pass blocking scheme than Joe Burrow has had in
Yeah.
the last 3 or 4 years. So getting veterans in there will certainly help with that, I think. And
Another.
I feel good.
No, go ahead.
Go,
No, it wasn't about the
go.
offensive line anymore. Another piece I'm kind of excited about that I think we were missing last year is a good running back third down blocker. I love Chase Brown and what he does, and he is a good pass blocker for how small he is. But getting P Ryan back, I like Samaje being back there on third downs a little bit now for blocking.
Ryan's going to play. He's
Yeah.
going to play in big situations, important third downs, I think. It's not going to be a kind of situation where it's like, oh, Chase Brown needs a blow. Let's get him in there for a possession or whatever. But it'll be on important third downs in the fourth quarter of close games. The reason they brought him back, I think, is because they trust him in situations like that.
I mean,
I agree. I like that signing.
A couple of times when how long ago did we lose him? 2 years ago? Was he on the Chiefs for 2 years?
1 year, I think. Just 1
1 year.
year.
But when we had him, I mean, he would be out there to block, and those little bubble screens we'd give him to him too were amazing. I mean, he'd pop him for 40 or a touchdown. I think he did that a
Yeah.
couple of times.
He played really well in the Super Bowl run and in the Super Bowl, and in that AFC Championship game when we won against the Chiefs, he played really well. I think he had a touch. He had like a 30-yard touchdown in that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's old though. He's on the other side of 30, which for running back is never good. So I think his touches are going to be very limited. But in the times that he is in the game, he's going to be involved. And if Chase Brown needs a blow or rolls his ankle or takes a big hit or whatever, I think that'll be Taj Brooks.
Taking
That'll
over.
be getting in there. Right. And then
Yeah.
P. Ryan is going to play a very specialized role.
I agree.
The only other thing I had to say about the offense is I'm looking forward to us doing a lot more two tight end stuff, which we got into last year. But the injury to Eric All,
Yeah, he was so good.
I know. And I think that's the single reason why we signed Noah Fant was because you've got Gesicki and Sample, who are like, if you combined them, would be a really good tight end.
Yeah.
Because Gesicki is a great route runner and has great hands, but he cannot block. And Sample is a really good blocker. Zach Taylor said he's the best lead blocker in the NFL.
Jesus.
But he is absolutely hopeless, not a threat at all catching passes. And so just to get another guy in the room who just can do both a little bit. Like, we're not asking too much out of Fant. I don't think he's listed as third on the depth chart right now behind the other two. But just have a little bit of versatility so that the defense can't tell exactly what it is you're going to do depending on which tight end is out there, I think is going to help a lot. And Sample is just probably essentially going to be playing fullback for a lot of the time like he did last year, which is fine. He doesn't ever need the ball in his hands, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Noah Fant. I mean, he was on the Seahawks, right? I mean, we just signed him. He was basically a wide receiver there, wasn't he?
No, he's
big.
He's big.
Okay.
I don't know that he's a great blocker, but like Gesicki is
A wide receiver.
like a speed. Yeah, he splits out wide. And I think right now, I know that a lot of Bengals fans love Andre Yoshivas, and I like him too.
I do like Yoshi.
But I think our best 11 players includes two tight ends, and he is not a part of that best 11. He's definitely going to be on the field a lot because we love to play 11 personnel. But I think our best 11 guys on the field includes two of the three of Gesicki, Sample, and Fant, and not Yoshivas.
I mean, if we're going off of what we saw last year with Eric All, I would agree. But it could be different this
But
year.
if it was Eric All, it would be easy.
Yeah.
But, yeah. The problem is that was the knock against him. That's why he fell to us in the draft, was he could never stay healthy. And now with his career starting like this, it's just like, God, can you have any faith that he's ever going to be healthy?
Kind of like Tyler Eifert all over again.
No, seriously. All right. Any more thoughts about the offense? Joe Burrow going to win MVP?
I hope so. I mean, I think he wasn't.
Yeah,
if we had a couple more wins last year, I think he could have won it.
I agree. Yeah, I think it'll come down to how many games we win in the regular season if he's a contender, because I definitely think his numbers will be good enough.
And we're both on the future of over 9.5. I'm optimistic for like I think the ceiling is like 14. I and I think the floor is 8, and I think
Yeah.
the middle of the road is like I would love to see 11 or 11, 10, 12.
I mean, last year, there's not much that could have gone worse for us last year.
Yeah.
Missing kicks at the end of the game. We had 3 or 4 games that just fell out of our hands. The defense collapsed completely by halfway through the year, and we still won 9. We won 9 games last year.
Yeah.
9 games.
And I'm not a huge
So
lucky think about like luck is a thing, but like if you look back on the Super Bowl run, everything went our way.
that's true.
And then last year
And we had a
nothing
great
went.
defense.
Yeah, and nothing went our way this last year.
Yeah.
So
I agree that the floor is probably higher than people give credit for just because of how good the offense is. We're going to be the best offense in the league.
I mean, literally last year, I mean, we were 3, 4 games, one play away from winning 4 more games. I mean, it's just tough.
I'm projecting Burrow in somewhere in the 4,700, 4,800 yards and mid-30s touchdowns again. And Chase will probably be
close to Triple Crown.
Who knows? Who knows? I'm not willing to put a cap on the numbers that Chase could put up, but he is certainly the favorite to lead the league in receiving touchdowns again, probably in yards again. So yeah, that adds a floor to the team that is pretty unique, I think. All right, but the real question mark for the Bengals this year is obviously the defense. Everybody knows the offense is going to be great.
Let's take a pause. Let me take a crack at this drink really quick because this is going to take a lot to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, our defense is the biggest question mark, I think, in the NFL.
So I think one thing that's forgotten by the casual fan who's not as locked into the Bengals as we are is that most people are under the impression that we are running back the same defense as last year because we didn't make any huge free agent moves.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have 5 new starters out of the 11. So we're only returning 6, and we're getting 5 new starters this year compared to what we had week 1 last year. Most of that is just getting rid of old guys that we were thinking, well, they're veterans, and we just need to be okay. We don't need to be great. They know what they're doing. They can run Lou Anarumo's complicated-ass defense. There are multiple guys out there last year, namely Sam Hubbard, Von Bell, that just were not physically on the level of being NFL starters anymore at the point in their career where they're at. Mike Hilton started to he definitely had lost a step.
He did.
And I think that you're talking about a lot of addition by subtraction on the Bengals defense. And you're getting rid of these very low ceiling players that you thought at least maybe gave you a floor, but the floor even completely fell out of them. And you're replacing them with big question mark unknown young players that at least have a little bit of potential. And so it's definitely harder to project where we're going to end up. But there is potential there for this defense to be good, where I thought last year going in, this year you definitely got more unknowns, but I thought last year going in, I'm sitting there thinking like best case scenario, this defense is just good enough.
Yeah.
And that's where we think we're going to end up. This year, you at least have some talent that's going to be out there playing, like Shamar Stewart, Jordan Battle, Demetrius Knight, these young guys that were high draft picks and have the potential to be good players.
And I think Osai is actually really good. I'm pretty sure on the depth chart Osai is starting, and I do like Osai. I want to see him play more, but I just think it's kind of sad that we spent a first round draft pick on Shamar Stewart and Miles Murphy, and Miles Murphy hasn't panned out yet. It's just like a lot of our picks just haven't panned out, and that's what makes me upset about our drafts. It's not that I really care about who we pick; it's just none of them are good.
Miles Murphy not being good hurt us.
Yeah, it did a lot.
Which he's still young enough that fine, whatever. Joseph Osai, I've seen plenty of Joseph Osai. He's in his 5th season.
Yeah.
I know he ended the year well last year. I think he's good enough to be a rotational guy, but like, it needs to be Shamar Stewart needs to be the starter.
Yeah,
if the pass rush is going to be legit. So let's start there. Let's start with the defensive line. Our projected starters are going to be Hendrickson, who is back at practice and is the kind of guy that I don't suspect missing camp is going to slow him down at all.
I
He
don't think
seems
so
like the
either.
kind of guy that is absolutely locked into his workout regimen and all that kind of shit and is going to be ready. So we're projecting it to be Hendrickson and Osai at the ends, and then it'll be BJ Hill and Slayton, the free agent acquisition from the Packers, will be at tackle, which my take on the tackles, I think this is going to be maybe the biggest difference in the Bengals defense this season. Last year, going into the year, kind of knew we are not going to have any chance at stopping the run.
No.
Having Sheldon Rankins and BJ Hill slide it. BJ Hill, who in his whole career played the 3 technique, moving to the 1, so that Sheldon Rankins can come in and play the 3. Sheldon Rankins comes in looking like he's built like a fucking safety. I mean, the guy did not look like an offensive tackle
No.
or a defensive tackle. And then he just doesn't even play.
Yeah.
And he's hurt the majority of the year. So we signed Slayton, who's a big run-stopping, true nose tackle. Move BJ Hill back to the 3, so he's no longer the biggest guy on your defensive line. I think that alone is going to make a big difference in at least just clogging shit up in the middle.
No, I agree, and I'm pretty sure the guy we got from Green Bay, isn't it? I think last year he was ranked 1 or 2 in run defense, like percentage for tackles.
2 years ago was his best year.
Okay.
Last year he didn't play that much. Our defensive line coach, I can't remember his name, was the defensive line coach at Green Bay 2 years ago. That's the connection and why he's here.
Gotcha.
When he left, for whatever reason, Slayton's playing time went down. But he is I don't think he's the kind of guy that you're expecting to give much of a pass rush. He's a fill a gap guy, which is something that we just didn't really have last year, and I'm very glad to have.
I agree.
And then, so the big question mark on the defensive line is going to be who's going to rush the passer. Shamar Stewart, 4.5 sacks in his whole college career, but he looks like a freak in all the clips from training camp, so you can't help but get excited about it.
He looks good there, and all his clips from college. I mean, a lot of them look. He just flies fast, and it looks like he doesn't have he's like an excited dog. He doesn't know how to control his body when he gets like moving like that. I feel like that's what it looks like to me.
He is a crazy athlete. He's going to be fun to watch. He's going to at least make some plays because they're going to put him out there.
Oh, 100%. And I think that's one of our biggest mistakes with Murphy last year is that we didn't give him a chance to be out there. He was out there a little bit, but I don't think he was out there enough. If we're gonna spend a first-round draft pick on somebody, I think they need to touch the field a little bit more than he did.
I do think literally just having anyone out there that's not Sam Hubbard is going to help the pass rush. Hubbard was at a point in his career where he just straight up could not rush the passer. He didn't even try. The only time he ever got his hands on the quarterback is he would hold his blocker up and wait for the quarterback to try to step up and run past him and then get him right at the line of scrimmage. And I got so frustrated. It started 2 years ago. Last year was even worse at how often Lou Anarumo was blitzing Mike Hilton or Jordan Battle or one of the nickel or dime backers or whoever and dropping Sam Hubbard into coverage. I swear Sam Hubbard was in coverage like 5 times a game last year.
It was
was
bad.
Incredible. And it's like, okay, you're just admitting that he can't rush the passer. He's not going to get there. So your alternatives are take him off the field, which they don't like any of their other defensive ends, or drop him into coverage was our best option. I think just getting anybody out there that's even going to try to rush the passer is going to be an improvement from what we had last year.
I agree.
And apparently Shamar is going to play inside a little bit on passing downs too, so that'll be exciting.
Okay. I'm excited to see what he does.
Of course. Other young guy that's a big question mark is Demetrius Knight at linebacker.
I've only heard good things so far, but also that's camp. It's not real football.
Yeah, you hear good
yet.
things about rookies in camp for sure. I thought he fucked up pretty bad in the Washington preseason game. I thought the 2 long runs were both his fault.
Yeah.
Running into Logan Wilson. But, I mean, it's his first game, so what are you going to do? I have no projection or prediction about Demetrius Knight other than I hope all he needs to do is be a downhill physical thumper and just try to blow shit up. And all the smart shit, all the pass coverage, getting in your right zone or whatever, let Logan Wilson do all of that. He can handle it enough. You just got to be disruptive. I noticed when Washington went 2 tight ends, they walked Demetrius Knight up on the end of the line to be the fifth guy on the line, and they brought Oren Burks in to play off-ball linebacker, which makes me think that they see Knight as this sort of downhill, disruptive, physical kind of player. So I think even if he can just if a guard's pulling around, just blow him up. You don't even have to be in the right gap. Just blow a guy up and try to fuck something up, and let Logan Wilson be the smart guy behind you is all we need out of Knight, I think.
And as much as the last 2 years, I feel like that's something that we were really missing with Pratt and Logan Wilson. I mean, Logan Wilson is great in coverage, and he's a good tackler in open field and finding his guy. But we haven't had a downhill linebacker in a while. And
No, for sure. And Pratt leaving is another one of these guys who I am completely fine with seeing walking. I mean, last year, I thought the last 2 years, he's not been as good as he was in, I think his best year was probably 2021. And he's forever a Bengals legend for that interception against the Raiders, our first playoff win.
Ever since that,
forever a Bengals legend.
That Bills game that he lost, and he was climbing up the ramp to go back to the locker room. He was crying like a little girl. That just never sat right with me after that. I always liked him, and then I was like, why is this guy crying? Like,
well, last year he had a career high in tackles, and he was like top 10 or top 12 in the NFL in tackles. But it was because number one, Logan Wilson got hurt, and he got to kick over to the mic and play alongside Akeem Davis-Gaither, who's also not a downhill linebacker. And two, our defensive line was so bad, especially in the interior, that every handoff got past them and had to get to the linebackers.
Yeah.
And despite him putting up huge tackle numbers, I know I'm not in the minority here, a lot of people did not think that he played very well. I thought that he took a step back last year. And so he asked for a new contract. They say no. He demands a trade. They give him They give his agent permission to seek a trade. He can't find one. Nobody wants him.
Yeah.
And so they just let him walk. And it's like, honestly, fine. And it's another guy, maybe not as much as Hubbard or Von Bell. It's another guy that I'm like, honestly, anybody else will probably be better. Like, I'm willing to just take the chance with the young guy instead of him.
I agree. I think he definitely could have played another year and been serviceable, but he's not worth the money.
And if he wants a new contract, it's not happening.
And he's just as big as a question mark as a rookie is. So,
agreed. All right. Last position group to talk about, the one that I am personally the most excited about of anybody on the Bengals, is our secondary.
I think it looks pretty good.
I think that we have potential to have a really good secondary this season, especially at corner. But let's do safety first. So bringing back Geno Stone, which is another question mark, I will say, and Jordan Battle at the strong safety.
Geno Stone was the one last year that when we pulled him on from the Ravens, I thought that was a pretty good signing because the year before he had the most interceptions in the league, and then last year he kind of did nothing. And then
he was bad last year.
Yeah, and then who was the guy we got from the Rams who I thought was going to be decent, but he was awful. What was his name?
He was terrible. He was even Fuller?
No. I can't remember right now.
I know who you're talking about. I hated that guy.
He was on the Rams team when we lost in the Super Bowl, but he sucked. He sucked that year. It was so bad.
He's on the Panthers now. Last year he started for the Panthers.
God. And I'm excited to see
Anyway,
Battle.
The problem with Stone is you're worried about maybe he was only good because that Ravens defense was loaded. And you put him around shittier guys and maybe he's not as good as you think. But also, like I said earlier, things could not have gone worse for the Bengals defense last year. And I don't think you can really blame any one specific person for how bad. Nobody played well except Hendrickson, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's like the corners and safeties all playing bad, and Cam Taylor-Britt crashing out on the sidelines or getting benched and shit. Like, that has ripple effects over the whole secondary. And the safeties playing bad makes it harder on the corners. And the corners playing bad makes it harder on the safeties. So there still is a chance that Geno Stone is not terrible. I don't know that he's really ever going to be as good as maybe we thought he was going to be, like a really good safety.
I agree.
But he, I think, still has it in him to be good enough. And then, everybody's excited about Battle. Battle's an athletic guy, although he's playing the preseason game where he looked like he was afraid to hit Jaden Daniels on the goal line.
Yeah, it's a little worrisome. A little worrisome.
That's supposed to be your thing, dude. You're supposed to be the big hitter, and you don't want to hit the fucking quarterback.
I mean,
but whatever. It's preseason.
It is preseason. I mean, like, think about Mike Hilton. He used to smack D. Henry right in the legs and take him down. I mean, I hope Battle.
I know. I'm gonna miss Hilton. I hope Battle
has it in him to go take a hit for his team, because I feel like last year another problem that I mean, not that our defense was awful. I think there was no camaraderie against him, like with him. I mean, that one. I forget what game it was, but that one interception that when 7 guys tried to catch it and they all knocked it out of each other's hands. It's like none of
Yeah,
them know
I
what
know you're
they're
talking
like.
about.
None of them know what they're doing. Like they're not really playing together. They're just out there, is what it felt like to me.
There was a definite disconnect with Anarumo as well, and I always thought he was a good defensive coordinator. And it just seems stupid to get rid of bad coaches, but clearly there was a lost the locker room kind of aspect to how bad things were going last year,
Yeah, because they were the
specifically
finger.
with his relationship with Cam Taylor-Britt, who is supposed to be like our second best player on defense, and he's benching him, and Taylor-Britt's freaking out on the sideline, and it's like that kind of stuff. It just compiles and it doesn't get better. And if you gotta just bring in a new guy, then I understand.
Yeah,
Even though I did think Anarumo was a good coach.
I agree. And I think with Cam Taylor Britt, I don't think it was so much of him having a like being a bad player and having a bad year. I just think he had the yips. I just think he was too much in his
He
head.
admitted, he said in multiple interviews that it was in his head and that he did not handle the adversity well. And he's probably the number one guy on the defense that I expect to have the biggest turnaround, because we have seen him for extended periods of time be a really good player in
Yes.
big time games in the playoffs. And it's like, I know that's in him, and he's built exactly like what you would want, like a press shutdown number one corner to be built like, and he's shown that he can do it. And I have very much confidence that he is not going to be as bad as he was last year again.
I totally agree.
So corner is the position that I'm most excited about. I love. I think Taylor Britt's gonna have a bounce back year. DJ Turner is crazy fast. He's a little bit undersized, but I think he offers a good complementary skill set to Taylor Britt on the outside. Dax Hill I thought Dax Hill's career was over. He moves to corner last year, plays incredible for like 5 games, gets hurt. Now apparently he's going to be starting in the slot with Turner and Taylor Britt on the outsides, which is a perfect combination of his safety and corner skill sets that I think he's going to excel in. And then my favorite young player on the defense, who's not listed as a starter right now, but you will be seeing, he'll be playing the dime. He'll be giving guys blows. He'll be coming in depending on matchups because he's too good to keep off the field. It's Fig Newton. I think that the kid, he's got it. I think he's got it. He plays the ball so well when it's in the air. There's a great highlight of him in camp. Jamar gets 2 hands on it, and he just swats it right out of his hands. I just love this kid. And I saw him play when he had an interception in the preseason game in Chicago last year. I was at the game, the play that basically got him a roster spot last year. He goes from being, I think, a 5th-round pick last year to, because of the injuries, and shoved into a starting role on a defense that is collapsing around him and is having a disaster season, and he still plays really well.
Yeah.
The sky is the limit for this kid. I can't wait for him to get out on the field. Even if it's not going to be immediately week 1, he's going to be a contributor.
What's his number again? I'm blanking.
28.
28. Who's 33? The guy who was in the Chiefs game, Anthony. Is he still on our team? He's the one.
We've got Dejon Anthony and Tyson
Yeah,
Anderson are our
Dejon,
backup safeties that I can never tell the difference between.
Dejon Anthony. That's the guy.
So Dejon Anthony is hurt, and I actually wanted to talk about this. He is projected to be out only, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. But they added him to IR, which they did not have to do. But they added him to IR specifically to clear up a roster spot to get PJ Jules the last spot on the roster. And he's the kind of guy, he's undrafted free agent we signed last year. It was on our practice squad all year last year, that has played really well in camp and basically played himself into a roster spot. And the Bengals tweeted out the video of Zach Taylor telling him he's going to be on the roster as like this big feel-good story thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hard hitter, good tackler, physical guy, supposed to be a good special teamer. And with Dejon Anthony out and our safety room not being that deep, I think he's going to play, because I think there's a timer on this 3 to 4 week injury with Anthony where they're like, all right, we need to decide by then whether we're going to kick this guy back down to the practice squad or whether it's going to be. There's also the undrafted defensive tackle from Notre Dame, who's Al Golden's guy, that just barely made the roster. And then we've got the defensive tackle from the Chiefs, the old guy that we just signed, starting out on the practice squad until he gets back into shape. That's definitely going to be moved up onto the roster. So there's competition for that 52nd, 53rd spot. And imagine that they're going to let PJ Jules get out on the field a little bit to try to see if he's a legit player. So look out for him on special teams, number one, but also maybe against like some heavier packages or whatever. He plays at third safety.
I like that.
And then at the back end of the roster as well, we're just looking for defensive line depth. It's the guy, I can't remember his name, from the Chiefs that's like 35 years old that we just signed. Starting out on the practice squad, and then the undrafted free agent who played at Notre Dame with Al Golden in the college football playoff last year had like a bunch of tackles. So
I didn't know about him.
just we're looking for anybody. I think we're just rolling the dice on defensive linemen. Just anybody who can get out there and play, we're going to give them a shot. So interesting stuff to watch at the back end of the roster. The offense is locked in, I think. We're keeping 5 tight ends, which is a little weird, but I understand it based on what it seems like we want to do with our personnel this year. So there could be some rotation with the defensive guys at the end of the roster, but I think they're gonna give everybody a shot because everybody's so young and so unproven. I wouldn't be surprised you see some guys out there early that you don't even recognize who they are.
I do like that. I mean, let's go find our star in the rough somewhere. I mean,
Agreed.
we might find one. I think
Agreed.
one of our other biggest issues too is not technically the players. I just think we've been bad at tackling recently. There's been a lot of missed tackles, and that's not up to any player. But I mean, we gotta rally to the ball and get the player down.
The problem with that is like, how do you fix that? You know, you just gotta tell you guys like, hey, you gotta fucking tackle.
No, I agree. I just something to make note of. I just think the tackling has been
definitely.
pretty
I totally
atrocious.
agree. I totally agree. All right. Well, any closing thoughts?
Go Bengals. I think we win the AFC this year or close second to the Ravens. I mean, I think we're going to be in playoff contention. I'm not really sweating that. I don't think. I hope so.
Something that I'm looking for this season is I want us to be better in the division. We got to beat the fucking Ravens and the Steelers, man. And the Browns week 1, of course. Got to beat the Ravens and the Steelers.
Yeah. Who would you rather beat, the Ravens or the Steelers?
I'd rather beat the Ravens, but it feels good beating the Steelers too.
It does.
All right, well, that's our Lion Chasers 2025 Bengals preview. Thanks for tuning in. If you made it this far into the video, it must mean that you're a big fan of me and Joel. So check out my Substack. My blog debuted today on Friday the 5th. Link is in my...
I'll put it right up here.
Yeah, thank you. Link is in my Instagram bio. Go to my Instagram at Brants Substack and see the link to my Substack. Subscribe. It's free. Thanks.
See ya.
I need $1 bad.